y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. So tonight my daughter requested salmon, so we're going to do a different kind of salmon dish for y'all. Instead of on the grill, I'm going to show you how to cook it in the oven. This whole meal should take about 35 minutes, a few minutes longer for prep time and everything, but it can roughly be done in about 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get started on our first order of business, which is the Brussels sprouts, because they'll take the longest. So the way I like to make my Brussels sprouts is make sure they're clean for one. This is a really good bag really cool bag because they come pre-washed. So I just chop off the end and cut them in half. So we're going to get these chopped up. Now I have the oven preheating at 425. Now this one's kind of small, so usually I wouldn't chop it, but I like the way they get that crispiness on the outside when they're all chopped. But the oven's preheating at 425. And if y'all hear some sizzling and popping, that's some crumbled bacon I have on the stove cooking for these Brussels sprouts. So we're going to make a really, really easy Brussels sprout and bacon side dish. I don't even really know if you can call it a recipe because it's so easy. But the whole idea of the steamed or boiled Brussels sprouts is not appetizing to me at all. I love roasted veggies. Like just about any vegetable, you can make it better by roasting it with just a little bit of seasonings. Y'all love my cute little cutting board that I got? Well, I didn't get it. It was given to me as a present. But I love it. It has this little trash bin on the side. I don't pull it out very often, but especially if I need to get a lot of prep work done or prep work fast, it works really well. So a good thing to remember though with Brussels sprouts is you don't want to overcrowd the pan. If you have them spaced too close together, they're going to end up steaming instead of roasting. So on the menu for tonight is Brussels sprouts with bacon, some delicata squash, and some salmon. Oven's preheated. All can go in at about the same temperature. Once these Brussels sprouts have been in for a few minutes, for about 10 minutes, we'll get the salmon in and we'll drop the temperature down a little bit. Like I said, these are going in at 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt. And just kind of zhuzh them around. Get them all nice and coated in that olive oil. Now we're going to I like the crispy sides. I like them to be facing down and get nice and hot and crispy all over. Now see, I'm using some aluminum foil to decrease the difficulty of washing dishes for it. But make sure they have plenty of room and they're spaced out so that they roast instead of steaming. So we're going to grab the bacon. I'll bring it over and show y'all. We'll pour it on top and mix it together. We have our crumbly, crispy bacon pieces. Excuse me. And I just pre-chopped it before putting it in. Excuse me. The smoke from the bacon got to me. But it just skips the step so I don't have to crumble it up after it's all done cooking. And my kids love the bacon in this, so of course there's extra bacon in it for them. And you can use some of this bacon fat that's in here also. It's just, you could even use it in place of the olive oil in this. I don't want it where you're having bacon flavored Brussels sprouts. I just want it to add to the flavor. So let's put this down. Okay. Perfect. We're going to pop this in the oven and then move on to item 2. So next on the list, we have our delicata squash. Now y'all know that I love this delicata squash. It's something new to me that came in our Misfits box, but ever since we got it, we've been loving it. I did see that somebody took it and took a spoon all the way through and just pulled all of those seeds out and roasted it. Again, that sounds really awesome, but I've never even roasted pumpkin seeds, so I don't know that that's something I would do. Sorry, I'm walking away from y'all today. So, trying to get everything in the oven really quick before the kiddos walk in. That way, when they get here, we can get ready for soccer practice. Dinner should be coming out of the oven. We'll eat and then head out. Staying on the move. The reason the salmon is just kind of sitting there right now is it takes the shortest amount of time out of all of this. Salmon really only takes about 10 to 15 minutes depending on thickness to be cooked properly. And the delicata squash is about the same. So we're going to get those in the oven about the same time. So for this delicata squash, we're just going to do a little bit of olive oil and stick with some of the same seasoning profiles. We're going to do the garlic salt on it this time and see how that tastes. We've been doing olive oil and Italian seasoning, and that's nice, but I just want to try something different, especially with 2 tried and true recipes that we like. Ooh, that delicata's probably about had it. Let's cut through and see. Yes, so this half is pretty much gone. So we'll tuck that away. But I don't like to do completely new recipes. I'm throwing that one in there, seeds and all. Unless I have a good backup. Because, I mean, we all need to eat. And the frustration of having a new recipe not work out almost makes you want to not cook or not try anything new. So I try to incorporate in new flavorings or new seasonings with some tried and true foods. It just works out the best for us that way. Or especially, I'll try some new recipes if I've got a fridge of leftovers that I like that I can always go as a backup. I also hesitate to take new recipes anywhere, like to a function, just because you don't want anybody thinking that, oh, that gross recipe is what she thinks tastes good. Y'all, I think I'm trying to rush too much. I need to slow down. Trying to get as much done as I can before the kiddos come home. And wanted to share with y'all a quick recipe that y'all can do also. Now, although the delicata squash skin gets soft enough that you could probably eat it, we don't. We've just been eating the inside of it and kind of eating around the peel. So I'm going to show you how cool this little thing is. So you still have to wash the cutting board, just like a regular cutting board. But it has this little drawer that if I didn't shove this huge piece of delicata in, it would slide out. But little container that just pops out, and that's my trash bowl. Worked out perfect. So I'm just going to spray the pan. A little bit of olive oil in here to toss it. Like I said, we're going to stick with the same flavor profiles and try some garlic salt this time. Especially since the delicata is very sweet and mild in flavor, I'm interested to see how something that can easily be overpowering works with it. Don't want to add too much because I love the natural flavor of the delicata, but enough to know it's there. Alright, and veggie number 2 is ready, just as simple as that. I'm going to move it to the side. I'm going to wash my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So now we're on to the meat portion. So we picked up this huge fillet of salmon at the grocery store. Now we won't be able to eat all of this for tonight. So I'm going to slice some up and put it in the freezer so that if we want to just pull out a portion or two, we can. Because just like today, my daughter wanted salmon. Somebody else might not. I mean, that's what we're having. But it's something good in case we want to try some, everybody have something different. Now you'll see I'm using the same knife as I did for my veggies on the salmon. There's probably a better knife and better to switch, but I would never go from meat to veggies because of cross-contamination issues. I'm just pulling off some scales that are still on here. We prefer the skin on salmon. It just, I don't know, it seems like it works so much better and it tastes so much better. It doesn't dry out as quickly either once you get it from the grocery store or from the meat market, wherever you're going to get yours. But the way to notice the scales too is shiny little part, and they'll have like some black reflective pieces. You can always take your knife and just gently rub it down the side of it too and see. Now this one is a deboned salmon, but I already see a bone kind of popping out here. But I like to feel down the side of it too, which even with going through these steps, you may still get a bone or two. It will be okay. So I want semi-even portions. So this piece at the end we'll save, and this piece we'll save so that we freeze those. And as for these, now you'll get scales from the bottom of it again, but just pull them away. For this piece, now again, the longer, thicker piece it is, or the thicker it is and the bigger it is, the longer it's going to take to cook. I'm just slicing these in portions before I season it up so I can get the seasoning all the way down in it. Got a little delicata right there. So the way we make our salmon is we use a little Nunu's Cajun seasoning and lemon pepper. I'm going to do a few of these pieces a little bit differently though. I've been seeing a lot of people rave about this buttery steakhouse seasoning. So I picked some up and I'm going to do, well, I'll probably do this piece because I love these thick pieces better. But we'll probably do, let's see, that piece on the end with it so we can see how that tastes. My lemon pepper's clumped up today. Now lemon pepper will clump. It's nothing new, just like your onion powders and your garlic powders will clump up. I've got the sniffles after that bacon. Now for the kiddos, I don't season their pieces with quite as much of this new news, just because they, I mean, they're children, they don't like things as spicy. And then this last piece, well, this piece and a half, because I didn't season this one right here very good, will be our experimental piece. There we go. So, let's see how good this stuff is, if it's worth all of the hype. It's a pretty color. It definitely smells like butter. And heavy coated, it's a pretty thick piece. Okay. So we're just going to spray our pan. And I am putting aluminum foil down, especially salmon will stick really bad. And I hate scrubbing and scraping. So look how thick and beautiful those pieces are. So, we're going to pop the salmon in the oven. We're going to pop the delicata squash in the oven, wash my hands, and in about 15 minutes, we'll see you back. Hey y'all, welcome back. So dinner's all ready. You can have one, Thatcher. And we're getting it served up so we can eat before it's time to go to, it's still hot, baby, time for soccer practice. So you see our salmon turned out really good. One of Eleanor's chores is to help make the table and serve up dinner, so that's what she's doing. And Thatcher's passing out squash with his fingers. But our salmon turned out great. And let's see, do we want to taste test this one? Mama put a new seasoning on it. Oh, thank you, baby.
And me and Thatcher are in.
It's actually not bad. Might need to add something else to it. But quick and easy dinner. My kids love it, and it helps get us dinner done and on the table and something nutritious in our bellies. Hopefully you'll give it a try and let us know if you enjoy it. All right. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Bye.